You have those things are different radios, media houses, and they are coming actually. They are trying to come and get from you the coming of Secretary of the State, Cardinal Pietro is coming to South Sudan, and maybe the motive and what is he going to do. So the people of South Sudan, they are aware of the coming of the Secretary of the State. Most of the questions you may hear from them, but actually their main issue is the one just to get from you exactly when is he coming and what is the purpose of his coming. Saying he was here before coming on the court, and he came, and then the court came, and a lot of places happened for us in South Sudan. So we are welcome your place just to share with him about the coming of the Secretary of State, Cardinal Pietro.
Thank you very much. Different media houses in Juba. Today, we would like to avoid a speculation. The coming of the Secretary of State by name Pietro Parolin is like a prime minister of Vatican State. So he's coming on Monday. He will be arriving on Monday, remaining only one day that he will arrive. But as a second man in the Vatican, he is coming as a visitor to the government, but also as a visitor to the church in South Sudan. I understand that his visit is more or less not going to last for a long time. It will take only roughly 3 days. He will come, he will arrive on the 14th of this month, and he will be received at the airport at around 10 a.m. and he comes to the embassy, and after the embassy there will be a meeting of the dignitarians, the president and the vice president. We will go and visit them in their respective offices. Then from there we will also see some senior clergymen like Cardinal Pietro, who is with us here now almost for 4 months. They will pay a courtesy visit to him, and then I think after that he will have some kind of lunch in the embassy, the Vatican embassy here in South Sudan, in which he will be also touring some important places here in the diocese, in the Archdiocese of Juba. He may visit our cathedral to plant some trees as a task that was incomplete. We would have done it during the visit of the Holy Father, but again, the visit of the Holy Father was short, and so he will this time also visit the cathedral, St. Teresa's Cathedral, to plant some trees. He would like this visit to be treated more privately. He does not like this big reception. However, there will be some clergymen, a few religious sisters and brothers, to go and meet him at the airport as he arrives. And then from there, he will be brought to the Vatican embassy then other itinerary will follow. His visit will in different places will follow. Let me be clear. In fact, the visit, as I said, is particularly for the Diocese of Malakal. He has been invited by the Bishop of Malakal, His Lordship Stephen Yodo, to come and see for himself the situation of Malakal. The situation of Malakal, all of us are familiar with it. The question of natural disasters, flooding, and many other things, and man-made disasters. But also there is now a window of opportunity for peace. So he would like to go and see Malakal, and then from there he will proceed to Rumbek, and he will come back here and flies immediately on the 17th to Rome. So this visit is very brief, uh, particularly going to these two dioceses, the Diocese of Malakal and the Diocese of Rumbek. I think that is practically what he is going to see. As I said before, we should not speculate why is he coming. He has come to follow up what the Holy Father has given to us as a task to the church to implement some things, and also a task to the government to see that at least what the initiative of the Holy Father is going on well. And I hope that is mainly his visit to South Sudan.
Your Grace, my name is Cardinal Pietro. I work for a Catholic news agency called ACI Africa Festival. My question is, this will be the second time the Cardinal will be in the country. The first came when the visit of Holy Father for cancer was cancelled, and now he will be in the country again. Why this visit is very important to the Christian community in South Sudan and to South Sudanese in general?
I think what we would like to see from this visit, again, it shows the love of the Holy Father to South Sudanese, and he sends a second person to him in order to come and again familiarize himself with the situation in South Sudan, both the government and the church. And we have a lot to benefit from it. It will show us maybe how we have progressed with what we have shared with the Holy Father, but also with him. He came here the other time when the visit of the Holy Father was suspended. He came also shared with us a lot of points that by this time, if we were to pick them all, church or state, we would have been far off.
Yeah, my name is Sani Madi from Reading. Two questions. First of all, in your conversation with the Holy See, is there a specific message the Pope is sending to the leadership of this country which you are aware of? And then secondly, you talked about when the Holy Father came to Juba, he had given both the church and the government some kind of task, and he's coming to follow up. Could you remind the people what are these specific tasks, given that uh, Rome has been so critical about the issue of ensuring that there's peace in South Sudan, and they're also negating peace between the government and the holdout through the Sekigito.
Yeah, as I said before, we must not speculate why is he coming, but he has come in order to follow up some tasks that we were given. Uh, and those tasks are clear in our minds, both government and church. We are here emphasizing the question of comprehensive peace among the people. The, the peace that was signed in Addis Ababa, the revitalized peace agreement, so far has not yet been implemented systematically. There are flaws concerning this agreement, and so it has to be followed. When the Holy Father came, he said to us, particularly the government and the people of South Sudan, be together, work together. Togetherness will be the one that can bring to you peace. He repeated this word together, together, together 3 times, because togetherness means unity. Togetherness means we are able to experience peace among ourselves, and togetherness means there is a kind of friendship, friendly atmosphere among us. Those who do not sit together cannot be friends. And so the Holy Father would like us really to begin to build peace together. I hope I answer all your questions. Thank you.
Yes, my name is Santo. I work for Kibaebi. My point is just to follow up. Currently, we don't have an ambassador for Vatican here in South Sudan. Is there any plan to appoint and bring an African ambassador?
Yeah, we have an embassy of the Vatican already in South Sudan, and there is an ambassador, a visiting ambassador. Both that ambassador is for South Sudan and Kenya. And so, in his capacity as ambassador, he covers South Sudan, all the affairs of South Sudan, like any other ambassador. But of course, there is always a good wish that we would like to have ambassador of our own. We are yet to build an embassy, and the Bishop Conference have given a piece of land in St. Paul's Major Seminary so that the Vatican builds its embassy there. We hope that that building of the embassy may be speeded so that the embassy will be permanent, and then the ambassador will be appointed who stays in South Sudan.
Is the absence of a full-time ambassador affecting the work of the church?
It does not affect the work of the church because all of us are ambassadors. You are an ambassador, the bishops are ambassadors, and so in a way the church does not rely only on the ambassador. The ambassador is there to come and accompany us together. It is different from the government ambassadors or the country ambassadors. In fact, the role of ambassador of the Vatican to the church is only to help encourage the church to continue to grow together and always to strengthen that faith. So his role is not so much like the ambassadors of the nation.
I have two more questions of this. We understand that the country is preparing for elections. So, according to you, do you think the coming of Cardinal Pietro will actually be a reminder to the leaders of this country on what they are supposed to do for their people?
Okay, let me not anticipate the result of their discussion with the vice president and then the president. Maybe along that line, we do not know, but always I know that the Vatican is preoccupied about the realization of peace in South Sudan and reconciliation among the people of South Sudan. Those are the main things that I can suggest. Maybe he would like to share with the president and the vice president.
My other question is, you mentioned clearly before that the cardinal will travel to Rome.
Yes.
So can you briefly tell us what his mission is for in the Catholic Diocese of Rome for our audience to know?
Again, let me not speculate. What I know, when the cardinal visit the diocese, is to go and encourage people and to share with people and to see the concerns of the universal church for that church and to encourage the bishop and all together. So that's why he wanted to go and visit also Rumbek, but purposely Bishop Stephen was the one really who invited him, that he comes to see, acquaint himself with the situation in Malakal diocese.
Sorry, just a follow-up from his question. Um, I remember very well in Addis Ababa during the negotiation, the church was given a role to at least also act as one of the monitors and report progress. Uh, Ever since the peace agreement was signed, the implementation, like you said, is going very slowly. And the church, more especially the Catholic Church, is seen as already taking a back seat without talking to the leaders to ensure that this agreement is implemented. Now, what is the role of the Catholic Church in ensuring that this peace process is implemented in spirit and in letter, so that at least people go to election, like he said, knowing very well that the outcome will be accepted by every South Sudanese without taking the country back to war. What is the specific role of the Catholic Church in ensuring that the leaders implement the agreement till the sign? Because the church is seen now like taking a backseat, they don't talk about the end.
I know many people are asking what is the role of the Catholic Church. We let people know that we play a lot of roles in order to realize peace and reconciliation among our people. I know people would like us to shout like the prophets of the prophecy of the doom. We do not like to sound like those prophets of doom. We would like to have this time a quiet diplomacy. And many of us have visited the important people of the country, the president and the vice president, and we would like to approach always this peace and this revitalized peace agreement here in South Sudan in a very ecumenical way. Our voice as Catholic has been together with our fellow ecumenical leaders, and we have been doing this together. And so the peace that came was an effort of all of the churches. No church is taking the back seat. All of us are there in front, trying to see to it that this peace is implemented. But of course, it is not easy to implement it, especially when there are outlining disagreement between the parties in the implementation of peace. We are here to encourage each party to this revitalized peace agreement to at least see to it that there should be some compromises. There is no peace without compromises. And I think that the Catholic Church is there always to stand with the people, politicians who are able to implement this revitalized peace agreement. I know people are gearing up to election. Election is one of the components of revitalized peace agreement. The church will stand with all these components if they are implemented well. I know election would really give us also a strong push, a strong stand when leaders are elected by the people and for the people. That's why the church is not there to challenge any delay that we have seen in the revitalized peace agreement. We are there to encourage people to remain stick to the all the protocols of agreement. And so in that way, we are able to talk to every party. And I hope that through this effort, other efforts are there. Senegidio is there, is trying to speed up with the whole up groups. And that is the task of the Catholic. Catholic is universal. It is not the initiative of Saint Egidio alone. It is the initiative of the local church. Because you remember, sometimes these members of Saint Egidio come to us, they pop around, and then they go. Because they are in constant consultation with the local churches and also with the government. Yes.
Yeah, I think the Catholic Cardinal Pietro and Cardinal President for South Sudan. Just on the follow up about the peace and the agreement in your capacity as the Cardinal President of the Archbishop of the Catholic Archdiocese of Cuba. So, what is your message to South Sudanese as they prepare themselves for elections? Because we are seeing a lot of things happening in the country, and your message as an Archbishop will really mean something to them. What can you tell them as they prepare themselves?
I will still use the word to encourage the people to be strong, not to be despair. Desperation will destroy our lives. Even how very slow is this agreement is implemented, let us be patient. Patience is a key to our joy. And I would like to encourage all South Sudanese that even though we see a lot of problems, looming problems, these are not going to destroy what we have. If our hearts are peaceful, we will realize this peace. I know many people are discouraged because there is a rampant violence in all our villages, our small towns, even within Juba. There are violence against people. People need to be patient. I wish that our government would have implemented the unification of the forces because we cannot get tranquility without the forces being deployed, whether they are the police or the army or the prisoners warriors. If they are not deployed, they will be good for nothing. That's why there are a lot of problems in our country. It is because this protocol of unification of the forces has not been done well. And so we wish that before election, all the forces should have been unified with one command. And we wish that we will have always an excellent election, unless if there are people who like to force people to elect themselves. But if people have agreed for a transparent election, all of us will reach that conclusion because we know whether this election is going to be rigged or not. It will be seen by the people, local people, if it is rigged. And so let us have confidence. The people must have confidence that this is one of the last protocol election. Let us go for it. This is my opinion as a person. Some other church leaders may say a different thing, but for me, I think this last part of revitalized peace agreement is very important for us so that we select our leaders, legitimate leaders. I hope legitimate leaders, those who are selected by people. And I think in that way, everybody will have to put himself into rest that people did not choose me to be a president or to be a vice president or to be even a governor. I think that is what we want. As we know, yani, this discouraged kind of people will always not be at peace. So we must have courage, and it's better to say that even poor democracy is better than dictators. Poor democracy is better than dictatorship because we know that we have elected our leaders. I think that is what I can say that South Sudanese should be ready to go for election and to select their own uh, leaders, whether the situation is poor, but we must go for election of our leaders.
I think we are done.